Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to Ntanzi. We're back. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about what we didn't talk about on Friday. Emily was not feeling well, and she's still not feeling well, but we soldier on because we have to have a complete picture. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm good,
It's a question. It's just a question that I have to ask. Either way, I know you're not feeling well. Right, I'm not going to waste your time because even this aircon, I don't think it's conducive for you.
Yeah, band.
Right, aircon off, lights on. Let's hear what you had for us on Friday. Greetings to everyone. Hey, Bafwet, greetings. That's all I can say. Greetings.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Ntanzi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us here again for another video. Yes, I was attacked. I was attacked by the flu. I don't know where I took it from. I don't know what's going on. But it came out of nowhere. On Friday, I just felt worse and worse. But now, I feel a little bit better than I did on Friday. Friday was the worst. I'm back. And yes, we're going to deliberate on Advocate Shololo's examination of Bongani Ntanzi's evidence. Okay, there are some aspects that she hammered on Friday that I feel like it's important for us to discuss. She did focus a lot on the contact that was said to have been made between her client and accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. However, she has highlighted the fact that was Lungisane's number, and Ntanzi also assisted in highlighting that aspect that number is Lungisane's number. It was saved on my phone as Lungisane Ndwandwe, and the next thing you know, they are calling Lungisane's number accused number 5's number, and then the next thing they are saying they had a contact with each other. So that was really emphasized and hammered into the fact that number did not belong to accused number 5. And it also speaks to how one would say, I'm speculating here, but the phone of Bongani Ntanzi was used to make contact with accused number 5, or to establish a communication between accused number 5 as well as Bongani Ntanzi, which was non-existent. So Ntanzi saying, these people had my phone. They took it and confiscated both phones that I had with me on that day, and they had them with them. So this speaks to how also maybe something was cooked. This is me speculating to say that there needed to be a contact with Ntanzi and the most dangerous convicted hitman.
You are saying the something was just created, allegedly.
Yes.
But how dumb must you be not to actually link the right person with the right person? Like, okay, if you're gonna say Ntanzi talk to accused number 3, at least try to find a correct cell phone number of number 3.
Actually, that's what the Lungisane Ndwante's numbers purpose it served. They gave it to accused number 5 and they said accused number 5 used the following numbers. I remember it being so many numbers. And I'm like, it's impossible for a person to be using 5 cell phone numbers at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why not get the real cell phone number if you're gonna try to cook something?
Then
allegedly
Pinky would have come and said there was no such between the 2 phone numbers, and then what?
You can deal with Pinky however you want to deal with,
but Pinky's also can't lie. Her lying would just put her in much great disrepute. There was no way of making a connection between Ntanzi and accused number 5 except for using Lungisane Ndwante's number, it seems. And yeah, so according to my conclusion, there was no such communication between accused number 5.
It's clearly there was no such.
Ntanzi.
Yes. There was no such.
There's no such communication. In my opinion, that was another a spice in the Bokyukos, allegedly. Well, Baloyi said that they changed courts on that day because...
they didn't... I'm just being naughty today. Just looking at how probably I would have done it. If I was to create a story.
Don't give them ideas.
No, I'm just... It's over. There's nothing you can recreate. You can't recreate what is
still an ongoing investigation.
All I'm saying is that I would have said accused number 2 being a link between Ntanzi and accused number 5. Then there was a connection between these accused, right? There wasn't a connection. There might be a connection between accused 1 and 2, but definitely there's no connection between accused 1 and accused 2 and 5, right? So that's a problem, but they are related.
With 1 and 5, they are related.
Yes,
2
but
not.
they never communicated. Yeah.
They didn't communicate.
It's a problem. That's
It's
a problem.
very interesting, and it speaks also to the level of punishment that Ntanzi has found himself being subjected to. These people that he doesn't even know. It's so strange. It's so dark.
Scary, man.
It's like you're anything to pin him, and I can't fathom it. Every day when I'm listening to the evidence, I'm like, Ntanzi, what is this? I've never seen anything like this. But yes.
So they were supposed to say there was a call between accused 1 and 2, which probably there might be, right?
Yes, there is.
And then
Gwabini was sometimes using the phone of accused number 1.
I don't think they needed a phone to say accused 1 and 3 and 5 connected. All they needed to create is this a cloud of saying that they are related.
Then it wouldn't be strong enough. Remember, part of the reason why we came to this far point with this case is because Ho said there were communication amongst all the accused. Did he not?
Yes, he did.
And he gave the judge confidence to continue to even make the confessions inadmissible. He said he wanted admissible.
Yes.
My apologies. Made the confessions admissible just so we can find out. Now we are finding out each and every day that we are finding out, but we are not finding out perhaps what he expected. It's going left.
In all honesty, this case on its own, it just requires a proper investigation.
Which was never done.
No, I'm saying when it's done,
yeah,
it requires a proper investigation. It's a mess.
From
this
way
case
back,
itself, one can argue that it's a crime itself.
Yeah, how it's been conducted, it has been a crime. There should
I don't
be some
think
type of...
you would be wrong to put it closer to the same, like Katomena squad.
Yeah.
It moves. It has similarities in terms of how things are done. It might
Most
not
definitely.
be literally taking people out, but
a lot of people have been hurt by what has been done and how the investigation was conducted from day one. I mean, you heard even Ubaba ga Senzo, how one would say, died a broken man without getting the answers that he needed. You know?
it's sad, man.
He was heartbroken. He even had complications because he couldn't stop thinking about this level of cruelty. And to think that there were people who were gagging him, people who were suing him to keep quiet, people who were threatening him with courts because he wanted justice for his son. People were stopping him from seeking that justice.
Yes.
Hi guys, no. There's so much inhumane things happened ever since the investigations of this case began, and it has not been fair. It has been harshest to the Meyiwa family. It's been cruel, inhumane. So some type of something has to give. This is not right. So Baloyi said that they changed courts on Friday and the media was setting up. It seemed like maybe the screen was not working or something with regards to Advocate Mshololo and how she wanted her exhibits to be projected on the screen and be shown. I'm making an assumption. It can be, it cannot be, or maybe it's the media itself or SABC were having trouble connecting in that other courtroom. We don't know really. So Ramasipili said that he was standing in for Advocate Mnisi. Advocate Mnisi actually came in a little bit later, which was not a norm when it comes to him. He's always there every day on time. I was like, so I'm glad he came later on, and yeah, it's just that it was unusual. Well, he said that he will be representing Mr. Sibia and Nube on Advocate Mnisi's behalf for Ramasipili, and they were okay with the arrangement. Mshololo thanked the court for the indulgence that she was given yesterday to prepare the exhibits that she wanted to line up for the purpose of her examination. And despite the shade that was thrown to her the previous day, that yes, we know our learned colleague is busy with other matters. Well, Mshololo started off by saying, Mr. Ntanzi, let's start with the identification. Do you know when this picture was taken? And Ntanzi said, even though I can't recall the date well, but this picture was taken during the corona days when I was at home. We were not working. I was at home. So can you imagine that they are passing pictures that were taken in 2020, some in 2018, some in 2019. They're trying to pass them off as if they were pictures that were taken in 2014 or sometime after 2014. Thus, the old beard shape, they emphasize on the beard shape, old type beard shape, wara. It's because they create an illusion that these pictures are from some time after the incident, when they are not. They are far much later, taken in 2018, 2019, 2020, And he said that during this time he was at home. It was during Corona. And then Mshololo asked him, during the year of 2014 or October 2014, sorry guys, when the incident took place of this matter, did you have the same facial features like this? Ntanzi said no. And then Mshololo displayed the next picture and said, Ntanzi said that although it's dark, but he can see it a bit. And then Mshololo asked, do you still recall when was it taken? And Ntanzi said, even though I may not remember it well, but what puzzles me is the house. Who am I going to say whose house that is? And then Mshololo asked for the properties of the picture or the metadata to be displayed, and the technical person said that they cannot open them. And then Mshololo said, while we're still on that picture, do you have the hoodie jacket during the year of October 2014? So he was wearing a hoodie as well on Friday. While Ntanzi said, no, I didn't have it. And he described the tracksuit that he was wearing, that this hoodie is part of the tracksuits that he has. And he says that he bought them in Rustenburg. And he said the one underneath, which are the pants, he would use them to gym with them for soccer. And then Mshololo said, and when was that? And Ntanzi said, even though I don't remember the year, my phone, the Samsung J5 from 2018, the photos were taken using that phone. And Mshololo asked, so it is your evidence that you did not have this hoodie jacket that is depicted in this picture during 2014. Ntanzi said he didn't have it. The next picture had the same jacket. Then Mshololo asked to go to the last picture with the hoodie jacket. The evidence before this court is that you are one of the intruders who had an O-shaped beard. And Ntanzi said, I won't be able to say which, but in 2014, I did not have a beard. Even though Makosonke testified that when he first met me, he did not see me with a beard the first time that he met me. So Ntanzi is emphasizing that these years that they are saying he had a beard, he did not have a beard at all. Okay? So they are saying the O-shaped beard because they detained him for months and months and months at prison. His beard grew out, and then they were able to see the shape of his beard and then compare it to the ID kit that now we've come to realize that the people that were doing or contributing to that ID kit are now saying it's Ntanzi, but when you look at their ID kits, they said they can't remember what the second suspect looked like. And then when you look further into the evidence, who came up with the facial features of suspect B? Who contributed to the... Because it's being used, dang it. It's being
Was
used
it not
against
Zandi?
Ntanzi. No. Zandi said she doesn't know what the second suspect looked like. So with that
Kelly?
beard, and perhaps it's Kelly. We don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't heard the statement Sarah Kelly when it came to the ID kit contribution. I don't think it's been read out in that court. Maybe it's her or her mother or both of them. Who knows? But it's very interesting that the people that were in that house who could not identify suspect B, freshly after the incident, they couldn't even describe an eyebrow. They couldn't even describe the shape of the mouth. They couldn't describe the shape of the cheek or something, anything. No, they said, no, we don't know what he looked like. And then they pointed Ntanzi with straight faces at Ramasepele said, they pointed Ntanzi in court. And then you're like, okay, you are busy with the O-shaped beard. The state is busy saying the O-shaped beard, the O-shaped beard, the O-shaped beard, which looks like the suspect B on the ID kit. So you're going to pin Ntanzi to that image. Even though the people that pointed him in court couldn't even identify an eye. The shape of one eye at least. And tell Mefrostienkamp there that his eyes look like this. Nothing. That's the case, but wait. Sometimes you feel like you are the crazy one. Like, Mara. Then Mshololo says, so it is also your evidence that that picture would also have been taken in 2018 when you bought the J5 cell phone. And Ntanzi said, yes, I can say that even though I don't have certainty of 2018, 2019 or 2020, but from there. And then Mshololo said, so from 2018 onwards, and Ntanzi said, yes. Mshololo now moved to the next picture and asked him if he could see the jacket, and Ntanzi said, yes, he can see it. And Mshololo asked him, is it still the same jacket like the one that is being depicted in the previous picture? Ntanzi said they were two. There's another one of Adidas that looked like this one. It's just that it does not show clearly. But there was one with a brand of Adidas that was red. And Mshololo said, no, come back. What I want to know is this jacket. Is it the same one like the one that has been depicted in the previous pictures? She was referring to the one that he was wearing in court. And Ntanzi said, no, it's not the same. Baloy stood and said that he was not objecting, just for the sake of the record. May counsel refer to the page numbers or the picture number so that when one reads the record later, one can relate the photos to the exhibits. Well, Mshololo now went to the next picture. The judge said, so we don't know what picture, yet we are told that there is about 4,700 pictures and Ms. Mshololo is leading that witness. She doesn't say the picture is exhibit EFF whatever picture, 120 or 100, what have you. So this evidence can't help me. It can't. So he was really emphasizing on wanting Mshololo to put the numbers of the pictures on record as Baloy had requested, because it looked like Mshololo was not interested. She wasn't.
Why
interested.
wasn't he saying? Why did he wait for his favorite child to say it?
To raise it first, which is strange. Why did he wait for... Why couldn't he pick up all along that Mshololo is not mentioning the number of the picture?
Because he's not listening.
Sure.
Because he's not listening.
Mshololo then said, as the court pleases. Well, she asked to have a word with Ramasepeli and she sorted that out. And Mshololo now moved to the next picture and he asked Ntanzi. She asked Ntanzi, when did you start to have that jacket? Ntanzi said it is as well. That one was also bought at Rustenburg where I used to live. They asked him what year, and Ntanzi said it was at Freedom Park. He said he started residing there in 2018. And then Mshololo asked, did you have this jacket during the year October 2014? Ntanzi said, no, I also bought it in Rustenburg. Mshololo went to the next photo, and Ntanzi said that it was taken around 2018, 2019, 2020. Even that one was taken in the house where he used to stay at. Mshololo then asked him, did you have that beard under the chin during the period of October 2014? Ntanzi said no, even now before the court he doesn't have it. And then Mshololo asked, that mustache, I'm not sure if it's a mustache or a shadow. Just have a look at it clearly and tell me if you've had the mustache during the period of 2014. Ntanzi said that is the first thing that appears on a young boy when they grow up. So this beard, the reason why it's such a strong point of contestation, there's a dot here, Mr. Ntanzi, on the ID kit that Ntanzi does not have.
Yeah.
When his hair is fully grown from the first Boksburg magistrate court appearance, his beard was fully grown. And let me tell you, that region, it's not there. It's non-existent. And also, what made it O-type beard is because when people were deliberating and analyzing prior to the case being restarted, you could see that the way Ntanzi's hair grows, it doesn't grow fully to form an O shape. It leaves a bit of gaps. Yabo. And that is the reason why they are now giving him an O-type shape beard.
Obvious.
They've given it to him. Even though his beard does not look like that. And Ramasepeli tried to argue that his beard does not look like the beard of that suspect B on the identity kit. But yeah, the state gave it to him by fire by force. So Mshololo then asked him, Mr. Ntanzi, did you also have dreadlocks during the year of October 2014? Ntanzi said, no, I did not have them and I've never had them since. Mshololo then asked, did you have gold teeth? Ntanzi said, I've never had a gold tooth. In Exhibit S, there's a photo depicting Mr. Ntuli and accused number 3. Mshololo asked the interpreter to read the record of when the picture was taken, and the pictures record were IMG 2014 1026 17 28 39 001. So Mshololo said that during that period or during that day when the picture was taken, he asked Bongani Ntanzi if he knew Mr. Ntuli, who is depicted in the picture, and Ntanzi said no, he didn't know him. And Mshololo said on that day, which is the 26th of October 2014, when the incident took place in this case, did you see Mr. Ntuli wearing that jacket? Ntanzi said no, he did not see him because he doesn't even know him. So the judge asked when was the photo taken. So he completely missed the interpreter being asked to read the date on record. Another indication that he's not really listening. And he missed that part when Mshololo was asking Ubab Jonas to read the date on record. It completely flew over his head. So that was interesting. And the judge said, and that's supposed to be Mr. Ntuli and Mr. Ntanzi. Who is the other gentleman? Mshololo said, my lord, the other gentleman is accused number 3. So it seems like the judge also is interested in placing Ntanzi somewhere. Somewhere close to accused number 5. Didn't even look at the picture. He didn't even listen. Mshololo did state the picture has accused number 5 and accused number 3. No, he's not listening. So now he's asking if the picture has accused number 2 in it. Hi, guys. So the judge said, and that's supposed to be Mr. Ntuli with Mr. Ntanzi. Who is the other gentleman? Mshololo said, my lord, the other gentleman is accused number 3. And then the judge said, accused number 3 and who? Mshololo said, and number 5. So the judge said, okay, because he wasn't identified. This picture has been showed so many times in that courtroom. It's not the first time that it's been shown in there. So Mshololo then said,
they are saying they think it's Makeleni who gave the number 2 description.
Oh, Makeleni. Oh, yes, he did have a description of suspect B's face. Yes, Makeleni's statement. So none of the people in the house actually identified suspect B. So Makeleni, who's not around anymore, may his soul rest in peace.
Mabobola finished it for him.
Is Ntanzi, according to Mapopola and Tumelo Madlala. But they couldn't describe what he knew.
In my opinion, he was played the same way the guy who's crying about the money and all that that he was promised with Kreja. I feel like he was played the same way.
And you know what I feel as well? I feel like Makeleni did describe what he saw.
That's what you get me. Judging from what this case of Kreja, how it went, it is important to draw comparison with this one, considering the fact that some of the individuals that were also playing crucial roles there, they've actually transferred to the very same case that we're dealing with. So how they are dealing with the evidence, it is not far from what we have heard about Makeleni, about Kreja's case. Makeleni did describe a person, and I can tell you, in my mind, I'm convinced. Obviously, it is alleged, and I'm convinced with that alleged, I'm convinced that he did describe what he saw. And listen, to show that he described what he saw, he even said that person had what?
Dreadlocks.
And in his hand he had what?
A gun.
As he was running. Yes. Correctly so. But the problem is, he didn't live to tell the story. Because you would find a different description of what
Is
happened.
he the one that they say they found passed away in his room?
I think so. But yeah, I think so. So it becomes, like, if people are capable of taking someone and say you are pointing at the police only to find that you are pointing at Kreja himself, very, very scary, notorious guy.
And intimidations have always been there from the beginning, if you really think about it, especially when you listen to Mzilikazi on that documentary, Senzo Meyiwa documentary on Netflix, when he's describing how there was a Sangoma, and that Sangoma was taken and beaten in the middle of the field and allegedly by police. So that speaks also to the gravity of people who had a different narrative to the people who were in the house. Ibangati, they were not safe at all. So it's quite interesting that Makalin is the person who had a proper description, or one could say closest to description of suspect B.
They seem to like people who don't have the context of what happened on that scene.
Yes.
And they make those people very crucial people.
Yes.
And they define what they define, thinking they are helping, only to find that they are actually taking someone to jail forever. That is what I'm reading from this thing, allegedly. That's how they deal with you. You should probably be watching the guy that has been arrested from Zimbabwe, the Robert Mugabe's son.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's something.
There is gonna be an exigence in the very same part. There's gonna be exigence, and you must expect, Ahmed, that someone is gonna come, or someone might account and take a phone.
But he's collapsed twice.
The guy.
Under interrogation with the police.
Yeah.
So, an interesting turn of events is expected.
Obvious. And considering that there's no weapon.
Yeah, it's not there.
So, something is going to come. That weapon is going to be used as a runaway weapon. Someone decided to run away.
Yes.
That's why you couldn't find the weapon.
The actual person who did the shooting is the one who ran away with the firearm.
But rest assured, that guy, I don't think is going to be going to jail.
Did you see that police vehicle installed lights? And
I saw them.
Yo. Yeah.
I can bet you money. If he was to go there, it would be change of
that
events.
That vehicle alone lets you know what's going down.
Let's press the like button, please. Let us smash it like we mean it. Please, we are pushing to 200 for now. And I trust you that you're going to be able to do that as a person who supports this channel wholeheartedly. And that is appreciated here. Just your likes, not asking for a lot. Your likes and subscription, subscribe to members side. It does help. We appreciate you, and we hope that you're going to do the right thing.
So, Msholola now asked Ntanzi, where were you on the 26th of October 2014 when that picture was taken? Ntanzi said, I said this in court that at the time I was working in Carltonville, but on that day I was not working. Then it means I went home. And Msholola said, on that day, 26th of October 2014, when the incident took place, were you at any stage of the day with Mr. Ntuli? Ntanzi said, no, I saw Ntuli for the first time in Boxback. Mshololo then said the evidence of Constable Zungu that was placed before this court, he testified that on the 26th of October when the incident took place around 1700 hours in the afternoon. You, Mr. Ntanzi, were together with Mr. Ntuli and the co-accused in this picture at Basotong Hostel. Ntanzi said he was not telling the truth, my lord. And then Mshololo said, why do you say so? Ntanzi said, firstly, I don't know Ntuli. Number two, even Zungu, I don't know him, who alleges that I was with him at the hostel. I saw him for the very first time in this court as he came to testify, and he introduced himself here in court. Thirdly, I never went to the hostel. I don't even know what it looks like inside. Hence, I'm saying he's telling lies about me. And Mshololo said, but in his evidence, Constable Zungu also referred to Sfiso Gwabini, as he's also said that Sfiso Gwabini was also present when you were at his house at Basotong Hostel. Ntanzi said, my lord, that is not true. Gwabini came to this court and told the court that I don't even know where he stays. And he was telling the truth because I don't know where he stays. Gwabini is my friend, yes. Number two, Makosonke did state in this court that he first saw me in Rustenburg in 2016. He doesn't know me. It shocked me when Constable Zungu says he was with me in Gwabini's place, when I don't even know Gwabini's place. I also did not know what Makosonke. I did not know Makosonke. I saw him for the first time in 2016 at Rustenburg. I'm shocked. Hence, I'm saying that he's not telling the truth. He's lying on me. Mshololo said the same Constable Zungu, he also testified in court that you were present at Basotong Hostel when Mr. Mtuli, accused number 5, came in driving a silver Polo. Do you remember that evidence? And Ntanzi said, yes, I do. The first time I saw Ntuli, the first time I saw Ntuli was in Boxbeck when we appeared for the first time for this matter. And Mshololo said, furthermore, Constable Zungu further testified that you went inside the room inside at Basotong Hostel, wherein accused number 5 also joined in that room, wherein there was an exchange of firearms in the presence of you and accused number 5. Ntanzi said that's not true. I never met accused 5, and I also never met Zungu. I saw Zungu for the first time here in court. Mshololo said, furthermore, Constable Zungu testified that you came in together with accused number 1 and you were wearing a hoodie jacket. Ntanzi said that's not true. Even accused 1 here, he knows that he never saw me around Fort Lawrence, even back home. If he doesn't see me in the traditional dance, then he won't see me at all. Then Mshololo now moved on to the 2 confession statements that were presented before court, and she asked, do you have any knowledge about the people who killed the deceased in this matter? Ntanzi said, no, I have no knowledge. And Mshololo said, at any stage did you tell Brigadier Kininda who killed the deceased? Ntanzi said no. And did you at any stage tell Brigadier Kininda who killed the deceased? Ntanzi said no. Did you tell Kena Rapadu as to who and how the deceased was killed? Ntanzi said no. Did you tell Ms. Grenier as to who and how was the deceased killed? Ntanzi said no. Mshololo said, you have testified in this court about the circumstances under which you were arrested for the first time when you were approached by the investigating officers in this matter. Did they show you at any stage a warrant of arrest in respect of this case? Ntanzi said no, they never showed me. Mshololo said, so you were taken out of your home without a warrant of arrest being shown or explained to you in the language that you understood? Ntanzi said there is nothing that they showed me except photos that they had on their phone. Mshololo said, did the police inform you as to how many cases they were investigating against you at the time when they first approached you and arrested you? Ntanzi said, no, they never told me. Mshololo said, is it your evidence that when you were taken and booked at the police station, were there any constitutional rights explained to you as a detained person? Ntanzi said, no, there's nothing that they told me. The only thing that they told me was that I'm being charged for the matter of Senzo Meyiwa. Mshololo then said, and they did not issue to you any notice of constitutional rights in respect of the case of Senzo Meyiwa. Ntanzi said, no, It's not there. Even up to today, I don't have it. Mshololo asked, how many days were you detained before you appeared in court? And Ntanzi said, I never counted them, my lord. That's because there were too many. From June to October.
Definitely.
Ntanzi said he was never taken to court within 48 hours. So Mshololo said, before you were taken to Kena Rapadu, was there a warning statement that was signed by the police officer who interviewed you, who explained the allegations regarding this case and informed you that you had a right to remain silent, and that if you decide not to remain silent and say anything, whatever you say will be used against you during trial? Ntanzi said, no, they never told me that. Even when we left to the police station, they never told me where I was being taken to. There's a very disturbing thing that I'm noticing overall with the chat and the stuff. It's people who are obviously for the state and they are encouraging whatever the police officers have done with arresting Ntanzi and everyone else. What I find very disturbing is when they say, yes, Brigadier Kaninda did a good job. He did a good job. Arrest them. He arrested. He will do anything to arrest you. He's the one who arrests and arrests. It's like they are praising him for making arrests. And I'm like, if this is the kind of arrests that are being made, where we cannot point to an investigation, a thorough investigation that has been done.
It's like once you know people who think like that, once you are a criminal of some note, then you are capable of anything, and anything suspected to have been done by you, it has been done by you.
Oh, I'm worried with the quality of investigation. It's very concerning to me.
You can always grade these investigations. To call it an investigation is a crime.
It's an insult.
It's a crime for me to call it an investigation.
There's no investigation.
It doesn't smell or feel like investigation at all. But it is investigation to others, and it is acceptable for us to differ. But honestly speaking, others are pushed by hate. You know, there are people generally who just, when they hear the tribe Zulu, they just feel like, oh yeah. And if you look, most of those people that are pushing that, or people who are front for that, they are non-Zulu. So anything that has to do with, some of them, that has to do with, oh, this is a Zulu guy, oh, they are criminals, oh, they are capable of doing this and that. It's okay. I cannot do this.
And I'm like, yo, if Ubo Paganjena.
But it is how you learn, Emily. You are taught like that. What I find funny and interesting for myself is that Rata on the other court is debunking the theories that police are capable of doing things beyond just investigating and finding you guilty, or even finding you to have something to answer for.
Yeah.
Is that when you listen to the Madlanga Commission, you listen to the Ngabinde Commission,
It's a totally
the police
different
themselves, the
ballgame.
big fishes of the
Yes.
police, they are saying they are scared of the tactics that they use.
Yes.
But then you have this judge who's out of touch, who cannot believe anything said by someone who is arrested. And again, it goes to that what I just explained. Other people are just, once you are being accused, to them you have done it. The question is the judge capable of thinking the same way as those people think? And I can tell you now, yes.
I'm like, yo, how can people be so heartless? Yo,
Here's someone saying he went to Makeleni's family, saying that South Africans will be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. This case has been yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. This case is it's capable of anything. It is what it is, man. You can't change. But I feel like that time is slowly fading for those who felt that they have power that they can abuse to actually arrest people willy-nilly, do whatever that they wish to do with people. It is fading. As things are being revealed, you start losing the corners and the pillars of such syndicate. And then you remain alone. Should you continue, you might be swallowed by the system itself.
Such a time needs to come. Kunzima. Hawu Nkosi yami ngeke. So the judge says, sorry, are you asking the gentleman whether Rapadu showed him a warrant of arrest? Because it is different from what we heard in this office. I'm not saying that it's not like that, but a warrant of arrest was never shown by Rapadu. Rapadu's evidence was that he took a confession, not the warrant of arrest. It was never shown to this gentleman. If I recall the evidence in this warrant of arrest, the state says they don't want to lead any evidence about the admissibility. I'm very troubled by judge defending this warrant of arrest situation. So no warrant of arrest is issued and a person goes makes a confession, and to him it is normal, it is acceptable, it's something that is even worthy of him to defend.
You know, Ahmed, we might downplay the choice of a judge. It is not something that you need to downplay, considering the fact that we had judges prior this that had to deal with this thing, and how it later came to be known that some judge just decided to appoint himself according to Mlambo. I prefer not using these things of justice and honorable in this case. I just prefer to call you your surname. So according to Mlambo, this person parachuted himself to this position of doing what he was not asked to do.
Over a high-profile
he was
case.
asked to do just a mere. What was he asked to do to start the case, or to? Was
it pre-trial?
Pre-trial, yes, conference, and then this person decided to do it all. Did you first believe that?
No,
it is unbelievable that you can be able to do that in a system that is observed that much. Do you understand? People that are capable of people who are supposed to apprehend law, basically. April, and it went on.
May, June, July, August, September is when we started having a Maumela not eager anymore to continue, and he was falling sick. So September, that's like a good 5 to 6 months, and you're trying to make us believe that he appointed himself to preside over the trial. 5 months young and Tule.
Now,
it was trending almost every day.
Where I'm going with this is what I just submitted. How people perceive certain people. Once you are from the side of be it holding cells or what,
yes,
you are a criminal to them. it's a psychological effect. Some people might be affected, might have been affected by the history, the trauma that they went through because of criminals. So therefore, once you have the word suspect, then you automatically become that.
Then everyone becomes a criminal.
Some might
They are accused.
Some of them might be affected by the system that programmed them from during the apartheid time to this time, where they were judges or where they were lawyers, some of them, who were supposed to look at any person who is black coming in as a criminal, who's capable of perpetrating things.
The law back then said that.
So
it did.
This is a system that is it's difficult to actually just phase it out to someone, unless those people eventually they pass on and they leave no legacy such as that. Funny, when they've trained people, they've multiplied.
Yeah.
And those people, they think alike most of the time.
Yeah.
What would my mentor do? Which is the question that they normally ask. So in this case, the choice of a judge, it is not something that you can just ignore. If I work with you and I've worked with you,
yes,
I know your history. I know your weaknesses. And I know it's like when people are choosing the judiciary in America. Those are things that they look at. Where do you come from? Which society do you come from? So if you want to have a ruling in favor of a white person, you cannot choose someone who's from the hood most of the time. What do? You choose someone who is from the suburb area, bourgeois type of people who cannot think beyond that,
yes,
who have their own way of living. And we still have judges like that. Whether you like it or not, we do have judges like that. If you compare, for example, Judge Hlophe to Judge Mlambo, you see the difference. You compare, for example, between Judge Mogoeng and the other judges that I've mentioned. With Mogoeng, there is what Mogoeng termed morality, in my opinion, which is guided by Christianity. So that person, by all means, is going to want to give you a chance to exhaust all your criteria and whatever. Then eventually he will feel like, because of the way you were answering, then you are guilty or you are not guilty. Then you have a Hlophe, a person who is molded by growing up in a society of people that would be termed as abantu abanobuntu.
Yes.
So I would expect him to overlook certain things that are just minor and say, but this person can still go back and do something. In a sort, same as Mogoeng. Now, do your analysis for the others.
They are there to ruin lives.
Someone who makes remarks in the court that look at black people being in charge of the country, look at the mess. Do you understand?
To
that
me,
person,
it also sent a very strong message when he decided to give Umqebo Dlamini a guilty verdict.
That's what I'm saying, Emily.
For something he did not even do.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
That to me was like,
you give that podium to Judge Hlophe, the outcome is totally different.
I'm like, I gonna just for fighting for a black child, you have to lose your entire life. Pella, for him doing that to Mncebo, it meant Mncebo could not practice being a lawyer. He did not look at Ncebo and see a younger version of himself.
No.
And that is truly disturbing for someone who prides themselves in fighting apartheid.
We know that there are people who today claim the victory of being Pan-Africanist or being...
That one spoke volumes. I don't wanna lie. When I look back at it, and at the time I wasn't familiar with him, but I did follow Ncebo's case, and I was very concerned as to what was happening there, because he was being punished for leading a very strong movement. Nothing else, nothing more. And to see that one of our own was participating, I would have been maybe a bit more understanding if it was a judge of no color. But to see a judge who looked like us do that, that was very disturbing to me. I don't want to lie. To this day, it's troubling me. You agree to take the case, fine. But then you don't see yourself in him at all. He wasn't a criminal, but you criminalized.
Look, I know that the Ncebo issue stayed with you, which I think he has made peace with it.
He has made peace with it. But now that I think about it and I look back, I'm very disturbed. I'm like, Kanti. And I was hurt when it was happening, but I was like...
You shouldn't be expecting judges to look at people like Ncebo to all that I'll probably read from that is give you that side eye as to what rulings were you making if you were a judge at the time, or if you were a lawyer at the time. Were you asking people to take a plea deal for the same things that Ncebo Dlamini was doing, of being a leader of a movement that was literally fighting for a black child? So when those people were caught by the system of that day, of that time, what was your position? Were you ready to actually fight until the last sweat for that person to be fully exonerated, or you were coming from the direction of the Mjiakos of this world, allegedly? You know, because that's what we are told that Mjiako was moving like in that court by Ntanzi.
He said, "You take the plea deal, take the deal, take the deal." He was there for that.
And one day, such people would claim that we contributed.
Yeah,
in this.
We were fighting for what? They will be claiming that. They will. Guys, kunzima in South Africa. Well, Mshalola said, "I recall, my lord, maybe we are not in the same page at the time when I asked the witness about the warrant of arrest. It was at the time when the police arrested him from his house." The judge said, "Okay, fine." Mshalola then said, "But I have now moved on to ask about the constitutional rights when he was detained. And then after that, I will ask him about the warning statement. If there's a warning statement wherein his constitutional rights were explained before he made an election that he wanted to do a confession." And another thing, he's asking whether Rapadu should have been the one to warn Ntanzi of his rights. He should have. Right? He should have. Even if the ones who arrested him had done it, he still had the duty to do it as well.
Look, the right of arrest, the question is correct.
Read him his rights.
No, you cannot generalize the right of arrest to the rights that you have to be...
to take a confession.
When you are taking... It's totally different things. Not reading those rights of arrest.
Yes.
It would be forgiven, in my opinion.
Okay.
The rights of the confession, however, would not be forgiven as far as Rapadu is concerned.
Yeah, read him his rights. How, Kathleen?
Because to confuse the two is wrong. What is asking is correct. But in an event when these rights were not read,
Yes.
the rights of arrest, in an event, let's say we accept that the rights were not read, is the confession then admissible?
No.
No, because you cannot correct what was not corrected initially or what was not done initially. As far as law is concerned, in my opinion, cannot correct.
And they knew it was gonna flop, which is why they had to now bring in magistrate to
The
take the
magistrate
second one.
part, it has to do with the missing information.
Yes.
It had nothing to do with the confession, I mean the reading of his rights and whatnot. It
Yes.
just was there to fill in the missing words, like the address. You cannot have someone confessing but not telling
But I
you
get
the
a
address.
magistrate, they now emphasize ukuthi she read the rights to a confession. She followed the step by step.
So is everyone. But taking him to that magistrate,
Yes.
it was mainly to take out the uneasiness you'd have to be told that someone was confessing, but that person did not give an address. That person did not give, for example, a cell phone number.
Yes.
I'm just making an example.
Yes.
Which was what Mboto did, because everything was done
Rapad.
abruptly. Rapad did. Everything was done abruptly. Because what question would you ask someone to actually write down NA? Not available.
Not good.
So did you
Inshallah,
ask him a question of what is your address? And the person said,
I don't have an
Angnai
address.
address.
While you
At the time
arrested
when they
him
were
at his
taking
address.
that confession, in their mind, they were also thinking about the bail.
Oh.
So the bail was to make sure that this person has not given a viable address even in his confession. So do not release this person. But eventually, when the court started, or if the court started with that, it would have been a problem to say that this person willingly gave you the information, but he forgot or he did not answer a question crucial as where the person stays. He doesn't know where he works. Is that what you are saying? Where he stays in Rustenburg?
Yo. Mshalolo repeated the question to Ntanzi, and his answer was no. Mshalolo then said, is there a stage wherein you signed a document confirming that you have said to the police that you want to make a confession? Ntanzi said, no, my lord, there's nowhere where I signed. And Mshalolo then asked, is there a stage wherein you informed that you had a right to remain silent, you're not forced to make a confession before you were taken to Kena Rapadu? Ntanzi said, no, I was never told. I was not told anything. What happened is that I was taken out of the call and then left. There was nothing that I was told. I didn't even know where we were going. So Mshololo then said, at the time when you signed the confession statement before Kenal Rapadu, we know it's your evidence on the circumstances under which you signed that statement. I'm not going to dwell on that, but I just want you to do this. At the time when you were forced to sign, did you know that you had the right to remain silent, and you did not know that whatever you are signing for will be used against you in a court of law during trial? That is what you were signing for, that it will be used against you during trial. Ntanzi said no, he didn't know, because there was nothing that he did out of his own free will. I'm glad he said this, because when he doesn't say it, the state has a tendency of saying because he didn't say it, it doesn't exist. So he must say that it was not out of my own free will. Then Shololo said, let me move on to the confession statement you made before Miss Grenier. Is there a warning statement that you signed recording the conversation or the interview that you had with the police officer wherein the allegations regarding this matter were explained, and that your constitutional rights were explained before you respond, and you made a choice to make a confession after your constitutional rights had been read to you say that you need to decide to proceed to make a confession, that confession will be used against you during trial. Ntanzi said no, there's nothing that he signed and they never informed him. Mshololo then said, when you were taken to Ms. Grenier to make a confession, the constitutional rights contained in the warning statement were not explained to you and you were not aware that you had a right to proceed in making a confession. Ntanzi said no, they never told him anything. Mshololo said the exhibit that has been presented before court, alleged confession that you made before Kena Rapadu. Do you know where the information that is contained in that statement came from? Ntanzi said no, he doesn't know. The confession statement that was made to Ms. Grenier, do you know where the information contained in that confession came from? Ntanzi said no. So after the short adjournment, Mshololo asked, do you remember the evidence of Kenal Hose who testified before this court and said that all the accused in this matter were communicating with each other? What do you say to that? Ntanzi said, yes, I remember, and what I'm saying that it's not true. And Mshololo said, I'm now going to ask you questions in respect to Ms. Ntuli, accused number 5. Mshololo now went to the cell phone data and communication of accused number 5. And she said in the second bullet point, it reads as follows. Fisokuhle, accused number 5, using the number 0715951239, contacted Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi, accused number 2, with the number 0609016890 3 times. Do you know that number? Ntanzi said yes, he knows the number. It's his number. And Mshololo said, and the number 0715951239. Do you remember that number? Ntanzi said, I see it, but if I were to see my contact list under whose number it was saved. Mshololo said, according to Mr. Ntuli's version, this number is not his number, but it's Lungisani's number. And Ntanzi said, yes, I know Lungisani. Ntuli said, I never had contact with Ntuli. Ntanzi said he never made contact with Ntuli. And Mshololo said, yes, but Mr. Ntuli says that that number belongs to Lungisani. Do you agree with that? Ntanzi said, yes, I agree. If it is the number which they took from my phone and then they said it belonged to Ntuli when they were not telling the truth. So Ntanzi is saying it, that they took it from his phone and then they gave it to accused number 5. So according to this, it says number 3 contacted your number 3 times. My question is, were you contacted by Mr. Fisokuhle Ntuli or were you contacted by Lungisani Ndwande using this number ending with 1239? Ntanzi said that it's Lungisani's number, who would have made contact with his number, not Ntuli, because he saw Ntuli for the first time in court in Boxback. Mshololo then asked, but now, why I'm referring you to this communication is because the evidence by Kenal Hose is that Mr. Ntuli was communicating with you using this number. Do you agree with that? Ntanzi said, I disagree with that. Mshololo then asked, who did you communicate with in these 3 times? Is it Mr. Ntuli or Mr. Lungisani Ndwandwe? Ntanzi said, the person that I was communicating with is Lungisani Ndwandwe. Although I won't be able to say whether it was 3 times or how many times, but the person I was in contact with was Lungisani Ndwandwe. Mshololo then asked, when did you start using this number of 0609016890? And Ntanzi said it was in 2019. Mshololo said, according to this paragraph 8.5.2, it says that the communication wherein the number ending with 1239 contacted Bongani Ntanzi. This communication was between the period of 6 April 2020 and 9 December 2020. So during the period of the 6th of April 2020, were you arrested in that period? Ntanzi said no, he was not yet arrested. So it seems that this thing of putting him with a phone call inside a cell, besides the purpose of trying to paint him or character assassinate, it was also to make it seem like he was having this so-called communication with accused number 5. So then Shololo asked him, during the period of the 9th of December 2020, Ntanzi said he was already arrested by then. So you would have been able to communicate with Mr. Fisokuhle Ntuli when you were incarcerated. Ntanzi said no, I would not have been able to communicate with him because the phone was confiscated when I was arrested on the 16th of June. So Mshololo said, so it is not correct that there was a communication between the number 07159512239 and 0609016890 during the period of April 2020 and 9 December 2020 because you were already incarcerated. Ntanzi said, yes, I was arrested on the 16th of June and I did not have a phone.
Yes, Jonas.
Oh, guys, let me soldier on one last round. Mshololo then said, even if you, but admitted that the number of 0690168890 belonged to you, but you never used this number to communicate during the period of the 9th of December 2020 because you were already incarcerated. Ntanzi said, yes, my lord, I would not have been able to. Then Mshololo said, so it is not correct what was testified by Kenel host regarding the communication between yourself and Mr. Ntuli, accused number 5. Ntanzi said it is not true because the accused, the accused that Advocate Mshololo is referring to was not with me and was not known to me. I saw him for the very first time in Boxback because if this number here was found on my phone saved as Lungisani, then it is Lungisani or it belonged to Lungisani. Mshololo read from the exhibit that indeed the number 07159512239 was saved as Lungisani on Ntanzi's phone. So she showed the exhibit where they say they extracted the numbers from using XRY what. The number that Ntanzi saved, 07159512239, he saved it as Lungisani. So was it a mistake to say that that number belonged to accused number 5, or was it deliberate?
It was deliberate in my opinion. And guys, we beg you for the likes. Thank you, Mtozi.
Thank you, Mtogosisi
for pushing
Langa.
for the likes. Thank
you. Hey.
And everyone else that has been reminding everyone to press the like button. We appreciate you, our moderator. We appreciate you, even if you are not a moderator, but you've been picking on this. We appreciate you, guys.
Well, Ntanzi confirmed it by saying that yes, it is his. He agreed that yes, indeed, he did save that number as Lungisani. So Mshololo said, is it your evidence that there is no number that you never communicated with Ntuli during the period of October 2014? Ntanzi said yes, and the number 0609017890 that communicated with this number ending 1239, you never used it during the period of October 2014. Ntanzi said yes, in October I did not have the 060 number in 2014, and this number is a 2018 number. Then Mshololo said, and during the period of 2018, you were at Material Respect communicating with Lungisani Ndwandwe. Is that your evidence? And not Mr. Fisoguhle Ntuli. And Ntanzi said, yes, my lord, this is not Ntuli's number, it's Lungisani's number. Mshololo now moved to the paragraph where it said, and I quote, is the communication of Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi, accused number 2, using the number 0609016890, contacted Fisoguhle Ntuli, accused number 5, 07159512239 2 times. The communication was between the period of 25th of August 2020 and the 8th of December 2020. So in other words, Mshololo said, it says you, accused number 2, using the number ending with 6890, contacted the number ending with 51239, the one you said belongs to Lungisani. And Ntanzi said, so it is correct that it is written here to say you contacted Fisoguhle. Ntanzi said, no, my lord, it's not true. And remember, the evidence presented in court by Mohane was that the phone was confiscated from Ntanzi around February 2021. So when these alleged phone calls were happening between the 25th of August 2020 and the 8th of December 2020, Ntanzi saying he did not have his phone with him, and the police are saying he was with that phone in his cell. So you can make up your mind which story you want to believe, which side of the story you want to pick. But my bets are that this phone was busy attempting to call Lungisani, you understand, or dialing Lungisani's number just to create that impression. So it seems like it was something that was like thought of, in my opinion. It was very much intentional and deliberate, to pin Ntanzi more into this whole situation, in my opinion, and my speculation, of course, because I highly doubt he had a phone with him in his cell. I highly doubt it, considering the high profile arrest. He was arrested too high profile-ish for me to believe that they missed the phones and they left the phones with him. I highly doubt it. You can't come with TRT people to arrest somebody, or with EMPD with rifles, and then leave them with their phones. It's highly unlikely. So, and Ntanzi said, so it is correct what is written here to say you contacted Fiso Kuhle, and Ntanzi said, no, my lord, it's not true. And the period, according to Mr. Hose, was from the 5th of August to the 8th of December 2020. Where were you during this period? And Ntanzi said, I was already arrested. I was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. So Mshololo said, so you would have been able to communicate with the number belonging to Lungisani during this period of August 2020 to the 8th of December 2020. Ntanzi said, no, I would have not been able to, my lord. And Mshololo said, why? Ntanzi said, I was arrested and the phone had been confiscated by the police. Mshololo said, so if Colonel Hose got this information to say there was a communication between the cell phone of yours and the one of Lungisani, that communication was not made by yourself. In other words, you are not the one who contacted even the Lungisani because you were incarcerated. Ntanzi said, I never made contact with Lungisani when I was arrested. If it was in 2018 or 2019, I would agree. But in 2020, when I was already arrested, not at all. And it's quite interesting also. Remember how the extraction from XRY was converted from a PDF to an Excel by Hose. Ngiyakumbula kodwa.
We remember. How can we forget?
And then we're like, but why is there a need to take raw data and just manipulate? Pela, when you take a data to Excel, it means you want to change some things. It means you want to manipulate the data. Huh? It wants you want to play with the data.
It doesn't mean you are already manipulating the data.
It's gone. Its original form is lost. So why not keep it in that PDF and just highlight what you? Isn't that the job of someone who's investigating? You just point out, you highlight. You don't change anything. Yeah?
No.
You highlight. You just highlight. Your job is just to take a highlighter and say, this number is Ntanzi's number. This number is Ntuli's number. Maziti. Hi. Bayafonelana laba bantu. That's your job. So, ukuthi iyenzani ku-Excel? I don't understand. And then Ntanzi said, I never made contact with Lungisani when I was arrested. If it was in 2018 or 2019, it would make sense. I was 2019, you said I would agree, but in 2020 I was already arrested. Not at all. Mshololo then said, is it not correct what has been presented by Colonel Hose that this number ending 16890 communicated with the number ending 1239 by yourselves because you were incarcerated? Ntanzi said, yes, I was already arrested. It's not true. When I was arrested, 2 of my phones were confiscated. Mshololo then asked, so you did not communicate with Mr. Ntuli during this period when you were incarcerated? Ntanzi said, no, I've never made contact with him because I don't know him. And Mshololo said, during the period of October 2014, did you communicate with Mr. Fiso Kuhle Ntuli on any number? And Ntanzi said, no, I never communicated with him because I don't know him. And it also speaks to, imagine how it must have felt when Ntanzi refused to take this so-called plea deal. Now there's a connection between him and a convicted hitman. It must have been something. I highly Yo, icon. Then Ntanzi said, no, I never communicated with him because I don't know. And Shalolo said, Mr. Fisokuhle Ntuli during the period of 2013 to 2017 was using the following number that has been placed on record, which is 0766427007. Did you ever communicate with Mr. Ntuli with any number you were using with this number during the period of October 2014? Ntanzi said, no. Shalolo said, during the time when the state presented its case, have you heard or did you hear any evidence that was presented by the state to say Mr. Ntuli is using this number? It communicated with you during the period of October 2014. Ntanzi said no. And Mshololo said there's also a second number, which is 0733059202, that was used by Mr. Fisokuhle Ntuli during the period of the year 2006 to the period of 2017. Did you ever communicate with Mr. Ntuli through this number during the period of October 2014? Ntanzi said no. Shalolo said, did you ever communicate with Mr. Ntuli on these two numbers that I've placed on record belonging to or admitted to by Mr. Ntuli at this age or any time? Ntanzi said no. And Shalolo said, is the evidence tendered before this court to say you were communicating with Mr. Ntuli correct? Ntanzi said no, it's not correct, because even the number that is being mentioned does not belong to Ntuli. He means Lungisani's number. And then Shalolo said, and the numbers that you were using during the period of October 2014 up to the period of 2018, when you started using the number 6890, have not been presented before this court. And I don't think there's a need to even present them through this court. Why? Since I learned that the onus is on the state to prove its case against him, there's no need for him to present that number that he used in 2014. Why must he make their job easy? And if they have done this with a number from 2018, what can they do with a number from 2014? What poikikos are they going to cook is the question. So he doesn't have to present that number from 2014, or he was using in 2014 up until 2017 or before 2018 when he changed and used another number. Ntanzi said, I never made contact with Ntuli because he's unknown to me. Mshololo repeated the question, and Ntanzi said yes, those numbers were never mentioned before court. Mshololo said Mr. Ntuli denies that he was with you on the day when the offense was committed in this case. What do you say? Ntanzi said he also didn't know him. Mr. Ntuli also denies that he was at Basotho Hostel on the 26th of October 2014 when the offense was committed in this case. Ntanzi said yes, because I was also not there. I don't know Basotho. And then Mshololo said Mr. Ntuli also denied that he drove a silver Polo at Basotho Hostel in your presence, according to the evidence of Mr. Zungu. And don't forget, the people that are placing the silver Polo is Zungu and Zungu alone. Even that whole rental car situation, wasn't it 2016? The date, it wasn't 2014, it was 2016. So Zungu, Constable Zungu, is the only one who has seen the silver Polo in 2014.
Yes.
And then Mshololo then said, after giving the version of being at Basotho Hostel in Zungu's presence, Ntanzi said yes, because he doesn't even know his cars. Yena gayazi imoto yaga Ntuli. Even Zungu, Constable Zungu's cars, he doesn't know them. He said, I first saw him for the first time when he entered this court. And then Mshololo said Mr. Ntuli also will tell this court that on the 26th of October 2014, he was at work. And then after work, he knocked off at around 3. He then went to George Koch, wherein he met accused number 4 and accused number 3. And that is where they took that picture at George Koch. I showed it, and from there they moved. Mr. Ntuli and accused number 4 and 3 moved to Johannesburg City, and they dropped accused number 4, and then they proceeded to the flat where they were staying in Glovana property, corner of Main and Nugget Street in Johannesburg. So he's saying he was not with you, and Ntanzi said I was also not with him, I didn't know him. Mshololo went to the record of the 7th of September 2023 under the examination in chief of Constable Zungu, where he said whilst they were seated, accused accused number 5, then requested a certain gentleman to ask him to give him way because he was parked just behind him so that he could just reverse. He did that and went back inside, and he asked Ntanzi if he saw that the witness said he was at Basutung Hostel. Ntanzi said no, he wasn't there. Then Mshololo said Baloyi asked him if he saw the vehicle accused number 5 was driving on that day, and the answer Zungu said was yes, it was a grey Polo hatchback. Did you see Mr. Ntuli driving that grey Polo hatchback on the 26th of October 2014 at Basutung Hostel when the deceased was killed? And Ntanzi said no, because Foslora's Basutu Hostel is unknown to him. He said he doesn't know Ntuli and does not know his cars. As to where he comes from back home, he doesn't even know. Shololo said also, did you have any prior agreement with Mr. Ntuli to kill the deceased in this matter? Ntanzi said no, and Mshololo said, were you at any stage at that scene when the offense was committed with Mr. Ntuli to execute the offense in terms of prior agreement? Ntanzi said no. Did you share with Mr. Ntuli any proceeds of the offense as a result of the commission of this offense? Ntanzi said no, I did not share any proceeds because even Ntuli, I didn't know him. Mshololo said, do you have any intention to kill, or do you have any intention together with Mr. Ntuli to kill the deceased in this matter and to commit the offense as enlisted in the indictment? Ntanzi said no, I don't know nothing. So that wrapped up Mshololo's examination of Ntanzi's evidence. Baloyi said Mr. Ramasipile had signaled that he wanted to address the court. Ramasipile asked that Ntanzi be given, a break-nyana, because before the state started with their cross-examination, it has been 10 days. Perhaps if Mr. Baloyi commences his cross-examination on Monday, it wouldn't be too much of an ask, so that he can refresh and he comes back ready to face the questions from the learned colleague. And Baloyi said, my lord, we are ready to commence with cross-examination. We are really in the hands of the court. Mr. Ntanzi has not indicated that he's not ready to proceed, but we will acquiesce with what the court decides. Well, the judge asked Ntanzi if he will be able to continue on Friday or take a break and come back on Monday. Ntanzi opted to proceed on Monday. So that's how court adjourned on Friday. I'm done, Mr. Anonymous. Yo, it's been tough, guys. My nose is blocked. I can't breathe.
All right, let's see if we have, let me check the likes. If we have like something like 350 likes, then definitely we can have the calls. We can. Emily, you were sick. Was even afraid of disturbing you because I wanted you to finish.
I can't breathe through my nose.
Breathing through
oh
the
my
wound.
God, I'm breathing through my mouth, and I'm using the same mouth to speak. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Yo, guys, I know this is not on. I haven't been like this in a while.
Yes, to address the few, Arsenal was playing 4-1, and then he says then Sundowns is out of Nedbank, so is Pirate. Yeah, we are out.
I haven't watched soccer in so long, but I was so pissed off at that Pirate.
You watched
game.
Pirate too, yeah? Yeah, the penalties, eh? You
that
have not seen people miss
penalty.
like that.
I was so upset. I'm like, how do you miss CBC icon? Like, it's miss.
He
The
missed.
first, aye.
And you more guy.
Icon, aye. I'm like, how, Amanda? How? He had a good start. And the most interesting thing is that he didn't miss the direction.
You know what I'm pissed
He just had to put it in.
Yeah. Penalties, you miss them. If you are scared, penalties is all about if you are not scared, take the penalty. If you are scared, leave the hell out of the penalty. Be an extra. If you have to be an extra and you have to go there when you are forced, at least you miss, we forgive you. Then opt to go in. When you are wearing an armband, it does not necessarily mean that you need to go and take the penalty. BC is not a penalty taker. But beside that, we also have a proper plumber there.
This coach of yours, I am the direction. I wanted to see why you're calling him a plumber. I'm also
The guy
not
is
happy.
a plumber, bro.
I know.
I'm telling
not
you, this
happy.
coach is a plumber.
I'm not happy.
But the people will protect him. You know what? In what happens in South Africa when you are winning games, these small games, you become a good coach. Let us be honest. To win the league in South Africa, you probably have to win these small games. But then someone makes an
losing the
argument.
small games.
Someone makes the
He's
argument.
losing
No, small games. This was a cup. Someone is making an argument saying that this coach is building for CAF. Then I have one question for that person. This coach, since he started coaching Pirate, he has no win against the top four. No win against the top four. The top four of South Africa. CAF has top of the cake type of teams. We have normally your Al Ahly from Egypt. We have teams coming from Congo, number one. It's either your TP Mazembe or whatnot. We have teams coming from either Nigeria or... How are you going to beat those teams if you are failing to beat the top four of South Africa? And don't even get me started with favoritism that this coach has with people like Ntanzi. And I'm a Pirate fan, a die-hard Pirate fan. I started supporting Pirate when people like Bojeris Kosano were still playing. I remember that Pirate of your Thabo Mngomeni, Brendan Silent, Mueti. I remember that Pirate. I was there. I watched that Pirate without giving out my age. Then we've got these newcomers who would tell you, Pirate, you guys are not Pirate fan, you're plastic fan. Just because we are telling them that Masongwani is useless. Once I say that,
Oh, Pumbata.
that coach does not like Mbata. He does not like Mbata at all. Does not like him. He's not in his plan, but he's one of the best midfielders that we have, if not the best. Ntanzi is not bad, but because the coach is shoving him in our throats, it's gonna be even more bad. More worry. Like he first lost 2 games of the league because of that. He benched Mbata. Now they are telling us Mbata is injured or whatnot.
It's like they went into that game expecting for that team not to defend. It's almost like they were surprised that they were defending as hard as
They didn't start the team then. They didn't do a proper analysis before playing it. They just went there. Uguti didn't even start the team. How do you start a game of a defensive team with De Jong? A guy can barely fit in our system. He can barely fit. No offense.
No, it was a disaster. I don't want to lie. I'm not a soccer fan, but
No offense. A guy can barely fit in that system.
I was like, oh, wow.
He started with
What
De Jong.
happened to Pirate? This is not the Pirate I know. This is not the Pirate I know.
Useless.
What's going on?
I miss my Spanish guitar. His football was not a counter press type of football. It was a transition football. But we knew what we were going to get. We didn't care about the ball position, but we would win games that are crucial with players that at the time were the weakest. This one, he's been winning games, and that's what Pirate supporters don't talk about. He's been winning games, but he's been winning games because our scout has been doing marvelous job. So meaning that whoever you put in is going to win you game. But eventually, when the league is about to finish, it does require your brain as a coach, Pell. At least half of it, even if you've got good players. You can't just keep on rotating like we are a wheel. at least the wheel now is forced by the engine to keep on rotating. There is no consistency when the whole
it was
season.
painful watching that game. If you are a Pirate fan, hi.
Man. This coach, even Mahopa. You know, Mahopa cannot score. Mahopa misses. You know, sometimes it pisses me off. He misses. But what Mahopa does for our players, like really, he's able to hold the ball, let them play. Normally, when Mahopa plays, you find players like Bo really scoring 2 goals now and then, coming in and chipping, because he allows that space. That is his job. That is his strength. He does not like scoring. It's not a secret. But he plays for other players. Then you've got Mbutuma on the other side. Well, the guy one day will be a great player, maybe. But our simple technique of a striker, you know?
Yes.
For me, Mbutuma, I see Mahopa. Same, he gives you energy, chasing everything that rolls. And then Tebins, I don't like Mabasa by all means. He's very lazy for my liking. But he was scoring goals. How then do you
That's all
sanction?
that matters. You must score.
How then do you sanction? Sometimes it does matter, but the problem is you need to press. You know, like take for example Barcelona these days. We have Lewandowski who scores. We know he's a poacher. He's gonna score. But then we start playing this cow Ferran because at least he presses better than Lewandowski. Lewandowski is old. You know. So now Mabaso was not good for this coach because he could not press. But as a coach, what do you do to allow that player to actually have a space in your team? You push your number 10 as a pressing reference, and then that player, a striker, becomes, when you are pressing, a second player to press, not the first player. You are protecting him because he cannot press. He cannot mark for, I don't want to say, but yeah, he cannot. Mabaso cannot. Sometimes. I'm sorry, but I would say it. Like, sometimes mangi pegging Tamara Lumchit. Yabo, khona phela na basic ukufaka unyawo nje, like okay ngifaka unyawo ngiqosha ibhola ngenze ukuthi umuntu aphazamiseke. Hawu. So, it's gone. This coach, useless. I'm telling you, it's useless, but it's fine. It's fine. And thina ke sabuka ibhola ePirates sadlala ibhola ngempela ngoba uDumsani Ngobe isiphithiphithi esadlala ibhola ngoba Brandon Silent idlala ibhola la ngempela sazobona noma nyathela. Aye. We know nonsense when we see one. You know, De Jong is not a fit for Pirate. The scout there got it all wrong. Now this wing guy from, I think it's from Zim. I forgot his name. Oh, now low number 6, low mfakayo. But number. You know, when I forgot your name and you are a Pirate player, I must know what you are playing nonsense.
Which one?
Love msuk substitute uMakaula. Awu Nkosi yami Jehova. Awu nami ngangafike ngidlalile. Even at this age ngafike ngenze kangcono. Where they got that guy? I don't know. Oh, Mariko. Hey, khona. He's a good penalty taker. Lo thathi penalty na Emil. Washaya side. Yeah, penalty taker, yes, he's got the take. But how does he reach Orlando Pirates? How does he even reach Orlando Pirates? We are turning into Kaizer Chiefs, pal.
You gonna say that?
I'm telling you, Kaizer Chiefs is signing everything. That's it. I can keep the ball.
Kaizer Chiefs just wanna win. That's
Guys,
all
you
that
can call.
matters.
Guys, you can call now.
As for the technicalities, the analysis, the tactics, I don't hear Kaizer Chiefs stress themselves about that a lot.
Kaizer Chiefs lost it from the scouting point of view. On the other side, when we let go of Mbele, We became good scouters for some weird reason. God knows what was happening when Mbele was there. God knows. Only God knows. So Kaizer Chiefs is no longer going to Kasi to get players like Bojabu Pule, Bo Junior Kanye, Bo Skarangobese. That's Kaizer Chiefs we know, Bo Tigi. No, they just, I cannot identify them. But I can tell you, they've got a high possibility of winning against Pirate this coming week because they are a top team.
Hey, my heart.
And can you imagine the noise we're going to have to face?
Okay, Kaizer Chiefs, you have something to look forward to.
Yo.
Hey, Kaizer Chiefs, so after what I saw yesterday.
This coach can actually lose against the interpreter. It's capable. Capable.
It's a disaster. He needs to fix it. I don't know what he's going to do, but he has to fix it.
And then
it's
he goes
to
to press conferences like, I think, I miss Senzo on penalties. Okay, who's Amilu China? But I miss Senzo. Senzo. As for I wanna you can be China is a good penalty stopper, but that guy was a beast.
I been around yesibili ngosenzo never.
That guy was a beast, man. That guy was a beast.
That's it. It was never gonna be a second penalty shoot. Never. I also remember him. Never.
I'm sorry.
Ubevimba. Ubevimba irashabayeke. And it also give you that I don't like yo.
Umpomezwane saying I will kuzeka I guess I choose it.
I Kaizer Chiefs if they can
Kaizer Chiefs, honestly speaking, I think they lost the plot of scouting. And the players that are there, I can count maybe one that deserves to be there. The rest are just players. Like, how can you take the rejects of Orlando Pirates? Kaizer Chiefs, I know we used to take players from them. If you look at Bolibisi, and we used to actually clash with Kaizer Chiefs when it comes to stars. There are players like Leslie Manyatele who were supposed to go to Kaizer Chiefs. That was when we were really scouting us and Kaizer Chiefs. Now they are not. Forget about Sundowns. Sundowns goes to South America. They buy a 60 million striker who comes and scores 2 goals against Pirate. And don't worry, he's gonna score against Chiefs also.
Sundowns is about the money. It's about the money.
Sundowns is not scouting in South Africa. In South Africa, they just buy to destabilize.
Yeah, when they
see that this one is a problem. But no, mphathi. Uyayithanda man. Umhambiselana Mbokazi sifuna league.
Yabandaba kaMbokasi guys hayi.
Amazulu they are doing well with Zwane there. Amazulu they are doing well. Amazulu are doing well Nkosi yami with Zwane. They are doing well.
Hayi indaba kaMbokasi yona ke.
I watch him defending for Chicago. The guy is a beast, man. He's in a starting lineup already. He's playing like full 90 minutes. You let go of a player like that to America. In fact, South America.
A bit longer.
To America, is it not? No, to America. You take him to America.
America though.
Useless league. You couldn't wait for Aston Villa to come knocking. You couldn't just hold for Aston Villa to come knocking for this boy. And then you let him go to... This boy deserves to play in Spain or
England.
Even if he went to Belgium at least, then it's a stepping stone to go to England. But honestly speaking, you take such a quality to America. I know you can make it eventually maybe to that league, but wow. They are going to make a lot of money. They're going to make a killing. Because he's already defending like crazy there. And then we are left with Bodlela. Awunkosiyami. Lo keje
It
penalty.
was too quick to let
Usibisi.
Mbokazi go, man.
Usibisi. People are talking about CM. Hey, is the reason why we got 2 goals against
Usibisi set the
Usibisi.
tone.
No, against Sundowns, those 2 goals.
Oh, those 2 goals against Sun.
Those 2 goals against Sundowns. Usibisi. You play such a player who watched the striker get in between him and CM. At least CM was blindsided because he was facing the ball, the play where he was playing. 2 goals. This man couldn't run for shit. Couldn't run for 2 goals. The striker is peeling off him.
Oh my God.
Playing through the shoulder.
So he's that bad.
He's bad, man. He's bad. He's bad. He's bad. I played that position that he's playing. You know, when I'm telling you, I played 5 at some point. When you play again with someone like Sibis,
Yes.
you know what you do if you are playing 5-5?
Yes.
Like, you play like a sweeper. Because he's reckless, he's rushing on his tackles. Let's say 6 out of 10, he would miss his tackles. So you need to clean up that mess. The only time you get comfortable to play is if you are playing like with someone like Mbokazi and CM. You know when they are going there, they are probably going to win the ball. Usibisi he would miss it. Mawaqeda lapho aneke izandla kanye nawe athi selingenile igoli. During our times when we were playing, there was no 5-5. There was number 4 and number 5. When I used to play as a kid, you know what I used to do when I see that I'm playing with someone as useless as that?
What did you do?
I push him to add in good number 6. Just add. Because vele either
Sounds
way,
like a plan.
ngiyazimagela, ngiyazidefendela. Either way. Manje uzongidribblisa ngabantu. Uyabona le defender likudribblisa ngomuntu. Uthi udribble 2 wama defender. Kanti udribbliswe idefender lakho lingaphambili yakubhayizisa. Ngcono umuntu akudribble u1. Uyampusha uthi hamba uyosiza umakhehleni lapha. Nimise nikhahlela abantu mani bakhahlela because that's what you guys are good for. You kick whatever that is in front of you. Go kick them there. At least you're not gonna get the red card if you kick someone. If you hold someone there, you're not the last man. I parating nyanyisa kabe. Yabona lo coach. Oh. Papo kabelo Dlamini.
Yena ayishe mai.
Suka. Suka. Yabo manje ucabanga I'm crying now. Sazokhaliswa iChiefs keke. So khaliswa iChiefs keke manje ke indabende.
And then he's so shocked. Like, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? Why are you shocked like the rest of us?
So guys, you are not willing to call. You just want to hear me crying and you laughing.
Why are you shocked like we were there when you were busy training them? Why are you shocked? Like you weren't there the whole week training with them. I'm just surprised.
It's not about the Soweto guys per se, guys. It's
countrywide.
No, it's scouting. You know,
scouting.
You can have Soweto guys.
Scouting.
You can have Soweto guys. You can have guys from.
Scouting used to be a big deal back in the day. Like they would go deep in the townships.
No,
deep
today,
in the
Emil, today, why we always ask ourselves, but how did this player reach Pirate? Get brown envelope, in my opinion.
Corruption.
Get brown envelope.
Yeah.
When you going to scout, even you go there, you just to show with the matrix with the pirate.
And the biggest player wins a spot for their child.
So
it's no longer about talent.
There are players that you ask yourself.
There are, and I've seen kids that are like doing like
what
magic
did you see
on
here?
The ground, and I'm asking myself, this child is gonna grow up without even tasting what it's like to play for a professional team.
Ntanzi, hello. Tired of talking about. Forget even that Arsenal.
Hi, Bika.
That Arsenal is gonna lose the league. Hey, how are you?
I'm alright. How are you? Yeah. Today you're on fire with the soccer. Soccer will cause you a heart attack, man. But that's all right.
Even this case will cause you a heart attack. Either way.
No, that's all right. Don't take it too personal. I think Paris still has got a chance.
We've got the chance. It's fine. We will celebrate when it comes.
But because with 3 points and a game in, and they still have got a chance. So it's still good. No, good. Let's go back to our stressful case. Okay. I am one of the people. When Ramsey was going through his cross-examination, at first I was saying, it's boring, I was not following. But I think it was perfect because he went one by one dealing with the issues.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a perfect cross-examination. And I wouldn't fault the other advocates for coming in and chipping in. Everyone actually did a good part in terms of clearing where Ntanzi was. Because if anyone doubts where Ntanzi was, Ntanzi might not be able to tell you exactly where he was on the day, but he tells you, if I'm not at work, I'm at the house. So you have to be either of the two. Same thing as me. If you ask me where I was on the 26th, I can just tell you maybe I was at work or I was at home. So between the two.
Yes.
And then, of course, I think they did so well to. I remember there was issue of photos, which they did so well to make sure that these photos has nothing to do with Ntanzi on the 20th. And then there was issues of calls. The phone number for Lungisani did a good job. It had done before, but it just had to be repeated again to say, no, this is not his number 5. It's Lungisani's number that we're talking about. So I don't know. I feel Ntanzi is a soft guy. So I know at some point he did have some harsh words for Baloyo and the doctor when they were laughing. But I think you need to reverse them at the beginning so that they don't take take it easy on you. Yes. You need to do that, to just have a harsh word at the begining, and then they will know where to go with their cross-examination. And when it comes to their cross-examination, yes, just like that. Yeah. So when it comes to their cross, I don't see much. I know they will spend the whole week cross-examining Ntanzi because he is their strongest. He's their strongest case person. That's where their case lies. And if they lose it on Ntanzi, they will lose it on the rest of those guys. So, but it's I think it was a good approach by Ramsey, because at first I was like, what is Ramsey? Because at first my thought process was, I didn't like it when the advocates are first putting the accused as their witness number 1. I wanted the accused to be the last one. Because if you remember what happened to Sbia, Sbia came in and they put a story, and then at the end, Baloy and the doctor tried to say, what he's saying is not correct, and then he doesn't come back and clarify if there's any things that are not in line. He has already lost the approach. So at first I thought maybe they must just allow all other witnesses to come in, and then the accused must come last. Yes. And then you come in and then close all the loopholes. Yes. But I must give credit to Ramsey. He did a good job.
Very stellar job.
Yeah. And then let's see how we go this week. And then it's always difficult to follow in Ntanzi. And I always joke with my wife that in Ntanzi, if you see yourself paying for Netflix, you have got money to waste, really. You've got Lia on the other side, you've got Senzo Meyiwa on the other. It's just too much for you to be entertained. It's just enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. Yes.
Thank you so much for calling.
Right. Asizwe, injani indaba. Press that like button, guys. Press
but
it.
I do agree.
It.
I would have preferred for them to finish up and then call all the other witnesses and fill in they coming to fill in the gaps, change the strategy.
I think the strategy is fine like this. Now Ramsey can call anyone. Let's say, for example, you want to call Lungisani is still alive.
Yes, I think so.
Let's say you want to call someone like Lungisani. It has laid down the foundation of why you are calling Lungisani. Do you understand? Let's say sometimes you want to call someone who was with Ntanzi during the time on the 24th. It's easier to do so. Because
after
you have,
what he just labored into. 8 days of labor.
So there is no bad strategy. Depends on what you are looking at. That's it. It just depends on what you are looking at. For example, the ballistic is still to come. One might think it's someone you might want to bring, but you just want to make sure that you kill the state's case before that person comes and put the last cent.
Okay.
Which is what currently is probably missing. Other than that, nothing's wrong with what was done by Ramsey. If others see it the other way around, it's okay. Let them do and deal with that. We still have Nisi coming back again, which also has very interesting ways of bringing someone or even taking the case down. So we are lucky that he's got two people that he needs to defend, meaning that he gets to attack twice in most cases. Right? But the judge has been warned in a sense that he might be reported in a sense of how he has behaved. So we can expect anything in this case at this point in time if there is a bit of fear of what might happen. Right. The like button, subscribe, become a member. We are here for that. We are here for you so that we can all share our thoughts. The lines are open. The number is scrolling below. Yes, the number is there. All you have to do is to do the right thing. You call. Otherwise, ngicabanga ukuthi Emily, because there's no callers, nothing. We open these lines like today and people are not ready. Rata won't find them guilty, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised. Because when you thought that things were happening in a dark side place, and then only to find that you are now on a spotlight, if there is a bit of conscience, then anything is possible. Yes. Yeah, guys, I mean, ask Pumemfo.
Hi, let's go.
Ne ekonia banda. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We love you. Yes. We appreciate you. Press that like button in and out. But before ngiphuma ake ngenze kanje njengenjwayelo ngizoqala phezulu Mthoziseni Langa I always get in Mthoziseni Mthozisilanga siyabonga. Thank you very much. Innocentia Hatebe, thank you. Chuku Anna, hello. Malachi Johannes, thank you. Evelyn Modise, thank you. Mukwena Moody, thank you. Tsepo Makena, thank you. Miriam Unplugged, thank you. Teboho Joseph, thank you. Musanko Sinati, thank you. Banilo Michelle, thank you. Michelle, thank you. Boitumelo MC Master, thank you. Lindy Ngwane, our member, thank you very much. Lindani Dube, our member, thank you. Pumza Zidoti, thank you, our member. Tembi Madi, thank you. Zolisa, thank you. Zolisa, thank you. Zintenziba, thank you. Siyabonga, cool. Press that like button, guys. Gugu Yvonne Mkwanazi Ndonga, thank you very much. Siyabonga. Agasibone la Martha Ndebele, Thank you, Martha. Siyabonga. Good evening, Mr. Ano and Emily. Good evening. Good morning. Good evening. Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Press that like button, guys, as we go through. Amanda Sitole. Thank you, Amanda Sitole. Siyabonga. Lee Boshomane. Thank you. Siyabonga. Dido Worst. Thank you. Charity Mbonani. Thank you. Hendrik Gurirab. Hendrik Gurirab. Angazi noma ngisho kahle. Team Defense. Thank you. Team Kulu D, our member. Thank you. Siyabonga. Sibusiso. Thank you. Good evening, family. Ngingenile phakathi siyabonga. Yo ngeke silale. Umazinyo ezosibhedela la. Hey, umazinyo nawo zenesilot sakhe. Zilungile Shusha. Thank you. Siyabonga zilungile. Bani simshiyayo lana ulora our member. Oh, thank you Lola. Thank you membership. Mamfuneka siyabonga. Thank you Ntanzi Leya. Thank you. Wesibone lapha ukuthi ubani osalayo Linda Ntube mention Ntsikelelo Nkehle. Thank you. Okay, mentioned. Sibanda Skatele, thank you. Sekhameti, thank you. Siyabonga Sekhameti. Tabang Shwabada, thank you. Uti hi Mzansi Reality, lucky me on live. Yes, you are here with us. Nombeko Valencia. Thank you, Nombeko. Siyabonga. Ntanhla Manatha. Oh, Manatha lo. Ntanhla Manatha siyabonga. SA.com healthy. That's how I'm going to read you. Thank you. Siyabonga. Tafadzwa Marisa. Thank you. Ubani simshile. Amugelani. Suggest. Thank you. News for sure. Thank you. Ayanda Kabinde. Thank you. Zozo Mahlangu. Thank you. Siyabonga. Siyabonga Zozo. Michael Maduna. Thank you. Siyabonga Maduna. Jabi Temba. Membership. Mr. Ano and Sis Emily, please help guys as a member, but don't see deductions on my account. Please respond to my email address. You don't see deductions, but you are still green.
Maybe they are there somewhere, you're just not noticing. If you are still green.
Yeah, maybe they're just too small to notice. But yeah, I'll check the. Did you send the email? Which email? Please send on WhatsApp.
It's easier on WhatsApp.
Yeah, send on WhatsApp because we get to see email. You might think we use this email. We don't. We don't use this one. The one, more especially the one that we use to create the YouTube, because they are scammers.
Get a lot of spam emails.
Yeah, and then Haupalelwe Machuisa. Thank you, Ukuku Yvonne. As I've mentioned you. Yeah, Tabang Anyapinda. Dingan. Thank you. Seniyaphinda Zozo Mahlangu uyaphinda nje buka nje mpho wabakhatla. Thank you. Belinda Mukwele. Melisiza lapho. Shira. Thank you. Belta Ngwenya. Thank you. Pumizwane. Thank you. Siyabonga Mpume Xulu. Siyabonga Mpume Xulu. Ubani manje lona futhi sibonge nje guys kinonke nasingababonganga. It's not because some of you I am agameni. Ishmael Justice I am agameni asangishaya. Loretta Hlungwane. Siyabonga Loretta athi Nicolicia Mehlo. Thank you. Steve, thank you. yabona into ngisho Lazola Boyo, thank you. Abanye ke Pedro, because I've been reading your name, thank you very much. Sibongiseni, I've mentioned you, yeah, bafethu engamshongo. Nkosi yami Lindeni Hadebe, thank you. Hey, Tandiwe Dube, thank you. Flavia Khawudi, thank you. Ubani Linda Dube Dubai. Siyabonga bafethu everyone else. Sintandani ngebhadi sihlangene ngayo ke lento ka high blood pressure, which is this case. But until it comes to an end, we will still be here. Asindaba bafethu, nomkhuhlane, no sickness shall stop us. Emily, anything?
Nothing, guys. It's a wrap from me.
Nakho ngikuthanda masunjalo. Sibonge, thank you very much guys, everyone.